I say listen to Rick Santorum and what he said very often. Bob Casey Jr. didn't answer the question. No matter what question was asked, Bob Casey Jr. didn't answer the question. I mean, Bob Casey Jr., what would you do in Iraq?
The problem he has is he doesn't want to talk about his own record, which is voting with the president 98% of the time.
Bob Casey Jr., what would you do about Social Security? How would you solve the Social Security problem?
This government, supported by Rick Santorum 98% of the time, the Bush agenda.
Gee, what would you do to help the economy, Bob Casey Jr.?
That's more of the same. More of the rubber stamping 98% of the time of the Bush agenda.
Wow, that's about all Bob Casey Jr. says and has been saying throughout the campaign. George Bush is bad. Rick Santorum supports George Bush. Vote for me. There really were no solutions. He didn't say how he'd solve the Social Security problem. He didn't say how he'd solve the North Korean nuclear problem, although he said something should be done and what we're doing now is wrong. In fact, everything we're doing now is wrong. We need to change it. My question is, what would you do to change it, Bob Casey Jr.? So would you be frustrated if you were Bob Casey Jr.'s running mate and he just stood there and smiled and said...
That's more of the same. More of the rubber stamping 98% of the time of the Bush agenda.
98% of the time, that's all Bob Casey says. 98% of the time, that's all Bob Casey says. 98%. All right, enough already.